For the first time in my pinball career, I competed in the Texas Women's State Pinball Championships, and I filmed the whole experience to take you all along for the ride and show you just what it means to compete on a state level in pinball. I started playing competitive pinball back in late 2022 and have been documenting my process of learning in my series Learning to Flip, and my goal for 2024 was to qualify for the Women's State Championships, and I just barely made it in. I qualified in the 14th out of 16 qualifying slots. I earned my slot based on the points I earned from competing in 2024 Open tournaments, aka tournaments that include both men and women. 8 slots in the championships come from Open tournament qualifiers, and 8 slots come from people with the most points in women's only tournaments. So that means on January 19th, I competed in a head-to-head style tournament at San Antonio's What's Brewing. They also have coffee brewing there in addition to having a bunch of pinball machines. And because people always ask this on videos like this, the reason there is a separate state pinball championship for women is that women are historically very underrepresented in pinball. Women's leagues gives a safe, fun place for women to try out the hobby, make friends, learn from each other, and work on their skills. It's a great way to build representation in the hobby. And women can qualify in the overall state championships as well. All of the women that qualified for these state championships are very good. So I knew I was just going in happy to be there, happy to be nominated, and see how well I could do. So come along and see how things turned out. All right, we are on our way to San Antonio. Super excited. You know, it's not too far away. I guess that's Texas term speaking. Every city around here is 3 to 4 hours away. But headed there to be able to play some pinball tonight. It's Friday. I'm actually competing in the full tournament on Sunday. But tonight there's something called a Go No-Go tournament, which is when all the machines that are going to be played in the state championships are put out and tested by up to 80 people for about 2.5 hours to make sure everything's working, everything's like set at the difficulty that it should be. So we're gonna get to play some pinball tonight, test out maybe some of the tournament machines for the first time, and Alex is gonna get to play too a little bit since he doesn't get to play in the championship this weekend, but super appreciate having him here to be my cheerleader and also driver. Appreciate it. And so yeah, we're it's like a little after 2 now. We should be getting in a little after 4, which will be perfect to be able to get to the hotel and check in, get dinner, and then yeah, head over and see some awesome San Antonio people that we don't normally get to see. So should be fun. Welcome to What's Brewing in San Antonio, Texas. I know people who are watching the stream of this tournament were like, it looks like y'all are in a Home Depot, because we were in this back section with a bunch of like coffee bags stored there. But it was very fun and a lovely smelling place to play pinball. So this Friday tournament, called a Go No-Go tournament, was pretty casual, with the point really being to test out all of these machines, make sure they're tough enough or not too tough for the tournaments for the weekend. Because remember, these are a lot of really good players that are coming, so they tend to make them more difficult. They make it more difficult by changing out like the rubber pieces on the machine that affects how things bounce, making them steeper so that it affects like the angle and speed of the ball. Sometimes they make tilts tighter, so tilt is the ability to like move a machine a certain amount. If you move it too much, you tilt the machine, and sometimes they make them tighter, which allow you to move the machine less. We played 5 rounds of a pinball tournament style called match play. This is where you randomly get assigned to one of the machines, and 3 other people also play the machine with you. You each take turns playing each of your balls, ball 1, 2, 3, and then the player with the highest score gets 7 points, second highest score gets 5 points, third highest 3 points, and last place gets 1 point. Then after all the rounds are over, the person with the highest total wins. We were actually playing a timed match play, so it was the max number of rounds that you could do within that set amount of time, and for us that was 5. One of the other things the team at What's Brewing was doing during this tournament was also testing out the streaming rig. So all of these tournaments are live streamed on Twitch and sometimes YouTube, so they wanted to test out all the cameras to make sure they were all set. And one of the games I played was streamed, and you can see here one of the other things that was the point of all this. They are fixing one of the machines that had an issue with it. It seemed to be restarting or resetting after you added a certain number of players to it. But after they got that fixed, my game got to be streamed. So let's show you some pinball and walk you through this game on Jackpot. Started things out by getting my music set, and then I am player 2 on Jackpot. I almost immediately drained, and I'm looking up at the screen because sometimes if you drain very quickly, you get a ball save. It gives you the ball back. It's like, sorry, you didn't really get to play. Would you like to try again? So I'm trying to short plunge the ball here, because on Jackpot, if your first thing you hit on that screen that has all of those different colored squares on it, is the one that has the white arrow in front of it. It auto opens this visor, which is a big deal. But I did that, but I drained very quickly. However, I know my visor is open for my next ball now, which is great because that's how you get to multi-ball. You're able to play with multiple balls by locking them into the different eye holes of this robot visor. All right, now I'm on ball 2. Obviously didn't really do much on the first ball. Player 1 did pretty well, a little kid who did fantastic. So now, let's see what I can do on my ball 2. I immediately lock a ball in the left eye of the visor off my left flipper. Going for a shorter plunge again, but I over plunge, so it's gonna see where it comes out. And then I immediately lock a ball in the right eye. So I had a little bit of luck there with the ball bouncing in, but now we're gonna get to play a multi-ball, which is one of the 2 basic ways that you play Jackpot. The other one is doing something called Casino Run, which is where you get to play a lot of gambling games on a pinball machine, basically. So I'm working on getting some balls under control. I'm trying to hit all of the jackpots, which are jackpots for this multi-ball. But I drained out of it relatively quickly. And now I have to try to basically start over again. So I've got the ball under control, my right flipper. The visor up top hasn't closed yet because I don't think I've hit enough switches. So I'm going with the casino games, which are what you hit kind of in the shot to the left of the visor. You can do double or nothing if you play and win a casino game. I'm kind of a wimp and never try to go for double or nothing on it because I'll just take my points. Lost control of the ball, so time for my ball 3. Doing fine, nothing incredible. So I knew I need to put up some points here if I want to try to get first place on this machine and earn the most points possible. So perfect, got the ball under control on my right flipper, and I missed my shot, but trying to get it under control again here. So what I'm going to be trying to do is either opening that visor again or playing some of those casino games. And really, I just need to get the ball under control so that I can get the shots correctly. But you'll see I've opened the visor again, and I did it the long way this time you fill up that entire grid of colors. So if you hit the arrow that's on top of that row, you light that row, or the one on the side, you light that row or column. So now I'm back to locking balls for multi-ball. Locked both in the visor, so it's time for another multi-ball this time. I believe this one is a 3-ball multi-ball this time, as opposed to a 2, so I get to plunge a ball in, which is nice for your second multi-ball. I get the ball under control, so I get a free shot at a jackpot, and I do miss, but that means I still get time before the balls get deployed back to me, and I have to deal with trying to keep 3 balls under control. Picking up some jackpots here off of this multi-ball. I've had 1 ball drain, but if you see, I nudged the machine a little bit when it was kind of dancing around the out lane to keep it in. Picking up a few jackpots here. Ideally, the best thing you can do is get both balls at the same time back in the visor, which is what I'm going to be aiming for here. Oh, actually, I didn't even shoot my left one. I should have shot my left one into the eye to try to go for a higher value shot. But so right now, you can see there's 2 flashing shots that are still lit to try to get jackpots. You can either try to relight all of the other shots or go for those, but instead I drain. However, I picked up a decent number of points here. I got to around 900 something million. This is a very high scoring machine. So I didn't cross that billion mark, which is usually needed for a jackpot, but hey, it was enough. I pulled it out and I got first place. All right, checking in on Saturday morning. We finished the Go No Go last night, and it was a little late, so when I got back, I wasn't able to film, but I ended up getting 20th out of 71 people, so I was pretty happy with that, especially since a lot of the point of that tournament was testing the games and playing some of the games I'd never played before. I got really lucky and got put on a lot of classics games that I really wanted to get some practice on. Sinbad, Harlem Globetrotters, and Surfer. So that was really great. I still don't know exactly what classics game I'm gonna pick on Sunday, so hoping to get a little more practice in today, tomorrow, to be able to kind of make that choice. And Alex played 2. He finished around 50th, somewhere around there. But we were joking and saying we needed a +1s tournament so he could play with all the other people that came along to support. But today, going over to What's Brewing again to cheer on all of the competitors in the state championships, and also potentially get in a little practice in the morning in the slot that they have for competitors to get practice. And then we're gonna go explore San Antonio, kind of relax, enjoy the fact that we're here. So really excited for that. So we were back over at What's Brewing. This time, only the people that were playing in the Open State Championships or the Women's State Championships were allowed to be playing on the machines and getting their practice time in. And for this practice time, it's a little bit more regimented. You're not allowed to spend that long on a machine to make sure that everyone is able to get in, figure out the shots, learn the tilts, and make sure they're ready on all the machines they might be playing. The local news was even there, capturing some footage of the competitors and recording a segment to be played later on the local news. So we got some of our practice time in, saw some people that we hadn't been able to the night before, and gave the best of luck to all of our Houston competitors, especially wishing them luck in the tournament that day. And then things got rolling for the Open State Championships. They got everyone set up, all of the first round competitors picked their games, and some pinball started. And as I mentioned, all of this was streamed live on Twitch, so I hopped on the mic for a little bit to commentate some of the first rounds of the tournament.
Hi everyone, Anthony, how are you?
Good! It's been so fun seeing everyone, get nervous and hyped out there. It was very fun energy. Then Alex and I headed off to explore San Antonio while the rest of the tournament happened, and we made sure to tune in throughout the day to catch who the winner was going to be. The final game of the tournament came down to a battle between Garrett Shahan, one-time state champion, and Colin McAlpine, many-time state champion. It was an epic battle on the EM electromechanical game Surfer. Colin put up a killer final ball on this game, really set things up to be pretty challenging for Garrett, and although Garrett had an amazing tournament, Colin was the one who pulled it out to be the 2024 Texas State Champion.
That is it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Colin McAlpine as your 2025 state champion. Congratulations to Colin. That's fantastic.
And after watching all of that amazing competition, it was off to bed to be able to get ready to compete the next morning. Alright, so it's competition day now, officially. We've got all the women coming in, getting set up. As I've said, no idea how I'm going to do. I'm hoping I get one game win in at least, and anything on top of that is awesome. We're going to do practice for a little bit. I'm going to finalize our game picks, and then we're going to go into round 1. Also, this is randomly the day that TikTok got banned, so it feels very weird to not be able to share with my Learning to Flip TikTok audience exactly what has happened so far and what's happening today, but making it work. And also, we have a snowstorm coming into Houston, so if you see all these Houston people wearing crazy jackets, that's why. But we're excited for it, and yeah, it should be a good day. So let's go over how exactly this tournament is going to work. 16 women qualified, so in the first round, the first seed plays the 16th, the second seed plays the 15th seed, third seed plays me, the 14th seed, and so on. Each round is a first to 4 battle. Each player selects 3 games from the 24 on offer in the tournament. Each has to be from a different era, old, mid, or modern, and chosen from a provided list of eligible pinball machines that are at that location. The higher seeded person gets to choose if we're going to play one of the other person's games first, or if we're going to play their game first. And then it alternates player choice from there. First game is one player's choice of machine, second player is the next game's choice of machine. Each game is played as a 2-player game, if possible. Some old pinball machines only allowed one person to play at a time. And then you go until one person gets 4 wins. If you reach 6 games at a 3-3 tie, there is 1 tiebreaker game. Winner moves on to the next round and competes in a bracket style head-to-head with another person. And you keep going until there's only 1 winner left standing, the state champion. There are monetary prizes which come from the $1 fee to enter all the tournaments throughout the year in the state. But the big prize is the winner heads to the North American Women's Pinball Championship in March this year. So, since all of my games were streamed on Twitch, I can commentate them myself and walk you through kind of what was happening, what I was thinking, what mistakes I made, and what I've learned. So let's start out with my first game. So Hope was the higher seed, being the third seed coming into the tournament, me at 14. So that meant that she got to decide if I got to pick first game or she got to pick first game. And she said, I get to pick first game. So I picked my classic game, Surfer. I really love classic games, and I was really excited about playing this one. I had never played it before coming to this tournament, but I hadn't really played any of the classics. So when we had the chance to kind of pick and go first, I was like, okay, let's get in my comfort zone and go classics. So before we actually started playing, we got 30 seconds of practice each on the machine, and then it was time to start going. So there's sort of like a skill shot plunge, which is trying to get it in this left lane, which I hit on my ball 1 playing this. And then the other goals are trying to hit down the drop targets and those like little rollover stars in the middle to try to increase your bonus multiplier, increase your amount of bonus points you get, which are the amount of points you get when a ball ends. So for example, if you have an 8,000 point bonus lit and a 2 times bonus, you'll get 16,000 points. So you'll see I'm kind of letting it bounce around here, which is something called a dead flip, to try to slow the ball down and get control of it and aim at those drop targets if it's on my right flipper, or at the little lane that I skill shot into to be able to advance the bonus twice. There's also a little hole up in the top right that you can shoot into where you earn like a certain amount of points based on how many of the little rollover stars you have unlit. But I shot for it a bunch, you'll see here, and I just couldn't hit it on purpose, so eventually I did stop aiming for it. So this ball 1 is pretty good for me. You'll see I had a couple good saves there, tipping it over, trying to hit the hole up again, but just could not hit it. And then I finally drained because I hit it into the bumper and then like straight down the center again when I was trying to hit that upper right shot. So I was pretty happy with that ball 1. Hope did not have an amazing first ball, so I was able to come up and go, okay, let's try to extend my lead a little bit. Started off by hitting into a bumper, rolling over a rollover, hitting down a drop, and then going, okay, what am I going to do this time? Trying to go down into the drops again. I sadly hit it too soft, so I didn't hit it down. And then I made what is almost certainly a drain on this machine. I hit it into this like little left lane. It's almost always feeds it out the left out lane. Hope had another unfortunate drain, so I have more than twice her score at this point going into ball 3. This isn't by no means an incredible score, but I'm feeling okay about it. But sadly, I go into that deadly left lane again, and I don't nudge it enough. Nudging is moving the machine around, and it drains again. And look what? Guess what? Hope also drained out that same out lane, not from that little loop though this time. All right. Now we're on to ball 4, and I hit that skill shot again, which I was like, oh, awesome. And then I immediately drained after having one kind of misflip. Hope also had an unfortunate drain straight down the middle and tilted, which means she didn't get any of her bonus she had accrued. And now we're going to ball 5, which is the most important ball on Surfer because you always instantly have 2 times bonus lit, which means there's a lot of potential for points, and you can earn a 3 times bonus on this ball. So I have 1 drop target down, 2 drop target, 3, 4 drops at the top. I'm like, oh, awesome. Goes down that side lane. I get super nervous, but I give it enough of a bump to get it out. Feeling pretty great about that. Got a few rollovers, and then we start to get into Sling Town where it's popping around, and it just sends it out the out lane. Not a great last ball, but I did get a little bonus. I'm coming into this with twice Hope's score, so now I'm just sitting back and watching because I'm pretty nervous. I feel like I did okay on that, and I really did my best with it. Made a few little mistakes, but hey, I'm not a perfect pinball player, so I'm hoping that's going to be enough. But you'll know, you saw Colin yesterday when he won the tournament, he had over 80,000 points, so 34,000 definitely isn't safe. So she's doing pretty good, hitting down some drops. You saw she hit it into that upper hole that I kept trying to hit and missing. And if you want to also keep an eye on her bonus here, because she's already up to 4,000 bonus times 2. So you'll always want to, unless she tilts, she's going to always have more than that amount of bonus, more than what her score currently is. And now she's up to 26,100. So she's like basically there. She needs like 20 more points. And with this, as long as she doesn't tilt, she's now got it. But you don't want to ever count on that bonus in case something goes wrong. Pinball machines are mechanical. So she's going to keep playing, hoping she just passes my score with points on board. And yeah, it was a little sad sitting off to the side. I'm like, honestly, coming into this, my hope was that I could take down the classics games to be able to get to my needed 4 wins. And so it was a little discouraging to have that be what happens on the first round, because I knew that was probably my best shot. She had a great dead bounce there to try to keep it in. Great live catch and stop. Just perfect. Now it's going to that deadly left lane, and she doesn't want to tilt that bonus away. She knows she's got it and can walk off. And you can see how high her score shoots up. So she ends with 53,310. Awesome ball 5 from Hope to be able to take that, and she pulls out the score sheet to be able to write that down. So she did amazing on that. Super kudos. And now, because I picked the first game, she gets to pick the second game. She also chooses her classics game, and we are going to Evil Knievel, which is a very different classics game, as you'll see. So Evil Knievel was actually almost the game I picked, but I hadn't picked it because I heard Hope was good at it and I was hoping she might pick it, and she did. So this was a game I was actually excited about. I really also like solid state games, and basically the whole goal of this game is to hit the spinners on the left and right orbits, ideally the one that is lit. And you'll see there's like a light under the right one to start out with, and when you hit something on one of the drop targets on the left or right side, it moves sides. So ideally, hit that spinner and get it up into that top little saucer up in the middle, and that's how you get points. So I haven't played this game very much. I played it only really during practice here at What's Brewing. So I was still kind of figuring out exactly where the shots were, but my goal was just really to try to get control. My first ball did not go great. As I was trying to figure that out, I basically hit one of the bumpers and just shot straight down the center. But still a lot more gameplay left, and this is very much it only takes one ball. Hope was hitting some good spinners, and as well as some drop targets in there. I have to say, when you hit a spinner perfectly, it's so satisfying. So Hope put up some pretty good score on her ball 2. I know I need to really get to 100,000 because I got like nothing on my first ball. So I thought I'd figured out the plunge to try to get it right in that top saucer, but I just missed it. So on my ball, I'm trying to let it dead bounce between my flippers, bounce back and forth. I had to give it a pretty big nudge to try to prevent it from going out. My goal was really to try to get these spinner rips in. That one was an unlit spinner, so technically not the best thing I could have done, but I really was just trying to get those shots figured out. Now I aim for a lit spinner and hit it, which I was like, oh, thank goodness, a breath of relief. I found that shot a little bit. Was super happy with that stop. But then, okay, so I'm here, right? I really need it on my right flipper because the other spinner was lit. I am not great at the flipper skill. It's called alley passing or tap passing, which are like the most common ways that you get a ball at a classics machine over the other flipper, but I got really lucky and it landed on my right flipper. And so right now, like I said, that left spinner is lit. So the best thing I can do is have it on my right flipper and aim over to hit that one. If you'll notice though, I've also hit all of the left drop targets down except for one, and if you hit them all down, you get double bonus. I saw this right now and decided to aim for it. I missed right under it and it shot my ball straight out. I think if I had hit that drop, that would not have happened, and I would have gotten double bonus. That might have been enough, but it wasn't. I skipped Hope's last ball here. She got a few more points, but really it's on me at this point to try to come and pass her, and it's totally achievable. I had a little bit of a flipper, a panic attack there, but I was able to save it. I did not hit this shot, and it just rejected in a way that sent my ball out of control. I never got control, and it bounced out, and I couldn't save it. Again, my fault though. I made not the most ideal shot, and it resulted in the ball going out of control. So that means I am now down 2-0, and we are going on to Congo. So Hope picked the last game. I get to pick this game. I love Congo. This is one of my favorite games. We have it at our local arcade. I play it all the time. Of course, every version of every pinball machine is a little different, so just because you're good at one doesn't mean you're amazing at the other, but it means I know all the rules. But I'll be honest, I'm pretty nervous and a little bit down after losing the last 2 games, which were classics, which are the ones I was really counting on winning to make this through. And I have a quick drain. You can kind of see it there. I'm a little frustrated, right? So I found out after the fact, if I hadn't have picked this game, Hope was going to pick this too. She also loves Congo, which is kind of strange. This is not like a super beloved game. It's a little bit of a cult classic, I guess I'd say. But Hope knows this game for sure too. She's local to San Antonio. She knows this Congo, and she's a good pinball player. And in this moment, she just won 2 games. She's got momentum. She's hitting her shots. So part of what you want to do here is there's a lot of things kind of on the top left that you want to be hitting. There's a map ramp which is kind of this ramp that loops back down to your lower flipper. There's a way to lock balls, and there's like this shot called the gray shot, which she just hit there. That is how you are working to defeat the gray gorilla. In some versions of the game, you'll kind of see in the very middle of the playfield where it says Congo, there's like a lower playfield where you use this little gorilla to fight and that you fight against, but they have it disabled for the tournament mode. So it was a decent first ball, but nothing crazy. But I know I definitely need to put up a ball here for ball 2. I mean, like, my high score in this game is, like, I think 1.7 billion. Like, I know I can play this game. I'm trying to say that in my head and just kind of get a little bit more positive again. This is my favorite era of machine. I mean, like I said, I like classics and I like solid states. Moderns are really my least favorite. I'm still learning them, but they have a lot more rules. So, okay, I hit my map shot there. I'm like, okay, I can try to loop this again. I hit the gray shot, shooting a little early, and I was able to, I was able to get it under control. I've got a lock lit now. So I'm trying to get it up top again. I'm just kind of bricking my shots, which is what it's called when you just miss a little bit. I get a ball lock, so I get a moment to breathe as like the game kind of processes that I locked a ball for multi-ball, which is what you have to do to be able to get a bunch of balls released at once into the game, and you can like shoot for a bunch of points. So I defeated my gray gorilla by shooting the gray shot 4 times. I'm like, okay, I got a little momentum going here. I need to hit my lock shot. I missed my shot, send the ball a little bit out of control. It's going back and forth in the slings, and it goes out, and I can't save it. And again, it's just, people sometimes say, oh, it was luck, you know, it's just, I couldn't save it, it went out. Hey, it's often because you missed a shot. Now I'm putting in fast forward here because Hope has a really good ball. She's doing everything you should be doing on this game. Hitting the shots into certain loops, to lock balls, to start other modes. She gets multi-ball, she gets jackpots. This is how you play Congo. You know, like, she's absolutely rocking it. And you can see me sitting back there trying not to get phased. And I'll tell you, it's hard. You know, some people don't watch the other person play, but you know if they're playing for a long time, they're playing well. Again, I know I can do this too, but she started Ghost Tribe multi-ball. She's, like I said, she is working her way through this game, and I know I have to just have like the ball of my life to even catch up with her, because I'm player 1. She still has another ball after this. So she hits, I think it's over 700 million when she drains with her bonus, and I've got one more ball now. So let's see how I do. All right, so I think I don't even have 200,000 points here. I need a great ball. I know that. I'm kind of anxious because I'm down 2 games. Take a deep breath here. I get my music going, and let's see how it goes. So there's a skill plunge that you try to do on this game. I'm waiting for the lights to get in the right place. Hit my skill shot, get my 10 million. Trying to hit it straight up into a left shot. I hit too late, I hit too early. I got my ball saved, and I'm like, oh boy. Okay, you know, this is my last chance here now, and I immediately hit it out the out lane. I try to shake it to save it. I can't do it. I'll be honest, not feeling great at this point. I love Congo, and to go down in a game like that on here, you know, my head just wasn't in it. I wasn't locked in, as they say. And now it's time to go on to Hope's choice of solid state game, Fishtails. All right. It's a brand new game. Anything can happen, right? Okay. You'll notice as we're jumping back and forth between games here, how different all pinball machines are. They all have such different rules and different features in them. Fishtails is another one of the same era as Congo. I've played it a bunch. She's waiting here to see if she got a ball save, and she did not. She had a very quick first ball. Fishtails, there's really 2 strategies you go for. Either those like 2 flashing arrows in the middle or the boat shots. You loop them a bunch until you can hit a monster fish, which if you hit them enough, it kind of lights the shot for that. Or you go for multi-ball, which is over off to the right. But neither of us actually decide to go for that in this one. So I have a good bounce out to keep my ball alive, but then I have a flipper fumble myself and hit it into the bottom of the sling. So we both had a really quick first ball. Hope's up again. She's caught in Sling Town here, sending it back and forth. She gets 1 shot up at the boat, doesn't get it, but a good bounce over for control. Misses the shot again and goes down. This machine can be brutal if you just aren't hitting your shots. All right, ball 2 for me. Both really haven't done anything yet. This is anyone's game at this point. I get 1 of my boat shots, and then I'm trying to save the ball, trying to hit it again. I miss. That was very similar to how Hope drained. All right. We're on ball 3. We're basically even at this point. This is anyone's game. So Hope plunges. She hits up in her multi-ball shot, so she gets like a free 2 million points from that, which is awesome. Now she's into looping her boat shots. And this is really the key to the game. And if you can keep hitting them, that's how you're going to win. So she's getting some good shots around. She's getting millions of points for this. And she's going to do it so many times that she activates her monster fish, but she drains and isn't able to redeem that. So it's my turn. I know I have to have a pretty good ball, much better than we had in the past, but nothing insane. I need to get around 16 million points, 15 million points more than I have. So this is a game that I play all the time at also our local arcade here, so I know if I can figure these shots out, I can do it. So I do start getting where the timing is on my flipper and looping it. But then I missed one and have to do a big shake to keep it in. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty good about that save, but I'm not safe yet. Hitting that middle shot can be really deadly, and I keep accidentally hitting it. I'm not intending to do that, but I get a million every time. I have to dig deep to save because I know this is my tournament life on the line. I'm looping it, and now I do have a monster fish I can redeem. And I just missed that. I now realize I could have tried to backhand that shot there, but I was so focused in the moment that I missed that, which is backhand is when you use like the left flipper to hit a shot on the left side. But I'm still hitting a lot of shots here. And I'm able to like kind of work up my points. So when I come out of that, I am actually over. I glanced up quickly and it wasn't positive. And then I was like, okay, I got it. And then honestly, just to try to get my confidence, I'm just kind of hitting these and being like, okay, breather, I got this. And then I let it drain because I see that I've passed her. And I just kind of confirm because I'm like, I don't want to make the mistake of messing up here my one win that I've gotten so far. So finally I take a win, and now we are going on to Modern Machines because that is all that is left, and we're going on to my pick of Modern Machine, Avengers. So let's talk about mistakes I made here. One of my mistakes was picking Avengers. I really hadn't played it before this weekend, and there was a lot of other games there that I had played, but in practice, for some reason, this was the machine that I was hitting my shots on. I was able to really get some flow going. And on the machines I knew really well, I just couldn't, and I don't know why. Thinking back on it, I should have picked those anyway. They were a comfort to me, machines that I know, machines I've played a number of times, rather than a machine that just felt so foreign coming into it at this point, where Hope obviously knew this much better than I did. And you make mistakes in the moment, and I had been feeling kind of secure on it. But let's take a look at how this game plays out. I'm actually going to toss it over to myself to explain how the game works. When I was on stream with Jamie Burchell from Wormhole for the state championships, for the Open State Championships, I kind of described what you're supposed to be doing in the game. So I'm going to send it over to myself and Jamie to kind of talk you through what some of the goals are.
Yeah, this was one that I really did not know. I saw it was on the bank, so I've been studying this one a fair amount, and I asked like Wesley for like his tournament strats for this, and he sent me a video of Jason Zoller playing it, so I feel like I'm prepared for this one now, which is good. It was one of the few that like, we used to have a lot of them around, at least where I play, and hadn't really encountered it too much, but
we have one now at Eureka Heights. John has one. There's no we there. That's John's place, and Taylor, but they just got one.
Okay.
And I've been putting a lot of quarters in it trying to learn it.
Yeah. In practice, for some reason, I was actually liking it more than I expected. I at least for play style and flow and stuff. All right. But yeah, so basics are usually people are trying to get portal locks ready.
Okay.
To be able to turn their modes into multi-balls.
I know there's a cheap multi-ball here.
Right. And so typically you want to at least get one portal lock because that multiplies the score on all your modes, how many multi-balls are in play at the time for your portal lock. The easiest one is a skill shot into the bank on the left, but then you can also get them from a series of combos and then hitting the shot behind the little spinner.
Okay.
And then oftentimes people will try to qualify the portal locks and then the Thor so that you have like a stack of the easier multi-ball and the portal locks and getting into a mode. And reality seems to be the one that is usually the one that people go for in tournaments. But power, mind, also options. But really it's all about trying to get those multipliers, multi-balls stacked with base modes.
Okay.
So then we'll see where they go from there. There's a lot more to it as far as like when you watch the best of the best play. but that's as much as I need to know when I'm playing, at least.
So with that in mind, that is what Hope is doing here. She actually got a different multi-ball that I mentioned. She got this Iron Man multi-ball, which you get up like towards the left side rather than the Thor multi-ball, which I was talking about, which is over on the right. So she gets like a decent chunk here on her ball, walks away. She didn't complete her mode, but she did get some points. So despite knowing all that, I don't really execute on it. I am going up to try to hit to get one of those portal locks I was talking about on the left side. I miss it, go straight out the out lane, so the ball's going to be saved though because it was just right at the beginning of the ball. Going to turn that disc, I do light one of my modes, so I'm trying to get control of the ball so that I can shoot a ramp up towards the top and start one of my modes, which is like a way that you're able to get a lot, your shots are worth a lot more points. So trying to get control here. But I actually accidentally started the Thor multi-ball. So I am in multi-ball right now, have some jackpots lit, but I'm not in a mode, and I honestly drain out of it super fast, and I'm not able to take advantage of it, and then the ball's just over. I wasted a resource and didn't put it in a mode. And guess what? That's it. Hope is really played really well. I played pretty well on some of the games, but also flopped in some of the circumstances where I really should have been able to take advantage of those moments. So I officially go out of the tournament. Hope has 4 wins to my 1 win, and that's enough to carry her through to the next stage of the tournament. And you know, I'm pretty bummed in this moment, but you know, my goal is with pinball is to never take it too seriously. It is pinball after all, and my favorite part of it is all these people. It was an incredible experience, and I actually wasn't like fully out of it yet. There's a loser bracket that happened after this, which was to like, since half the field gets cut in this first round, since everyone's going head to head, 8 people out of the 16 are out after this. It's not just me. So you play to be able to place yourself in like the 9th through 16th, and honestly, head just really wasn't in it. And the person I played against after this picked 2 other games, modern games, that I really wasn't particularly good at, but I did play Fishtails again and also do very well again. So I did get my 2 Fishtails wins at States, but that ended up leaving me placing in that tied for the bottom 4 slots, and you know what? That's okay. I had a really great time this weekend. You can see the whole thing is an experience. It's about more than just those 5 games I played against Hope. I feel very proud of making it to States, which was my goal for this year. You know, it was my first time making it to States. You cannot imagine being the best performing person there the first time you make it. I've been playing competitive pinball for a little over 2 years, and what's been so amazing is being able to document that journey in my series, Learning to Flip, because I've been documenting it since I was getting last in tournaments, and now I have done well enough over the course of 2024 to make it to States. So I'm very proud of this, and it was an awesome experience. And I'm super excited to say that Hope did make it through pretty far. She ended up placing 3rd. And one of my amazing Space City pinball friends, Jess, got 2nd. And a huge congrats to Cynthia, who took 1st place this year. And she had a tough path to get there. She went through 2 former state champions of different states to be able to win. And she did an absolutely incredible job. From there, we headed on home back to Houston. We actually left before the end of the tournament to be able to make it back before that Houston snowstorm that I had mentioned that was rolling in. But we had a blast being able to cheer on all the competitors via stream throughout the day and see Cynthia take on that win. And now as I'm finishing this video, we actually just had the North American Women's Pinball Championships, and Cynthia ended up taking 24th out of the group. So a great job to her. Amazing to see her representing this awesome group from Texas. And now I want to say a big thank you to you all for being here, tuning in, and following my journey of learning to flip. As I mentioned, this was my first ever long episode, so let me know what you think in the comments, anything you'd like to see more of, see less of. I know there's a lot of stream footage there, but wanted to show you all the pinball action, so let me know if you'd like to see that represented differently, because I'd love to bring you more pinball action in the future. And to make sure you see that, if you wouldn't mind liking, subscribing, again, commenting down below, let me know what your favorite pinball machine is, especially if you play tournaments, your favorite one to play in tournaments, and what you would have picked off that bank in the States. And as a thank you for watching it this far, I am giving away a t-shirt. You might have seen me wearing my Learning to Flip shirt throughout the weekend, and I have actually purple and blue, so I've put a form down below in the description that you can enter to win one. Because again, I want to say thank you for over 2 amazing years of Learning to Flip videos and your support, and it's been a blast to be able to share this with you. So until next time, see y'all, and hope you get to play some amazing pinball before then.